Imagine this scenario. The most powerful statement you might ever make is to say absolutely nothing. Picture an accusation thrown your way, the room's attention pinned on you, an expectant pause for explanations, justifications, or apologies. Yet, you stand motionless, uttering no defense, showing no reaction. In that brief moment of silence, the dynamic shifts, the accuser appears frantic. The crowd's curiosity pivots to you, wondering, why isn't this person reacting? Throughout the ages, those skilled in harnessing such moments. Machiavelli in the volatile Renaissance courts. Tupac embodying the Machiavelli mystique, modern day. Tech moguls stirring storms with a single deleted tweet. Grasp the profound truth: silence is not a retreat, it is a form of dominance. They realize the impulse to defend oneself is a tether, and the one who controls it controls you. But if you release the tether, the uncertainty leaves others confused, unsure whether to fear or follow. This ambiguity becomes a form of leverage. So, next time your value is questioned, lean back and recall this. The most formidable maneuver in any power struggle is to leave your adversaries engaging only with themselves, while you remain unyieldingly silent. In the following moments, we will explore how to wield this quietude like a weapon, transforming every charge into empowerment, every rumor into promotional advantage, and every critic into your unexpected promoter. Prepared? Let's delve into the power of silence that prevails. It is often said words can be weaponized, yet the initial rule of any confrontation, whether on the street or in the boardroom, is that the first to act reveals fear. When you hasten to justify yourself, it signals an inner need for validation. That fleeting moment of vulnerability is all opportunists need to exploit. Centuries before social media turned outrage into entertainment, Machiavelli understood this. He observed leaders fall, not due to their adversaries revealing a true flaw, but because they revealed their own insecurities through nervous rebuttals. Reimagine the scenario. An accusation is made, and you respond with stillness. No flinch, no rush of adrenaline, just calm inhalation as others anticipate your response. In that pause, a psychological grip forms. By not acknowledging their frame, you convey that their judgment is irrelevant. It may seem like arrogance, indeed it is, tactical, unwavering arrogance. Authentic power is the self-assurance to behave as if you are beyond reproach until others concur. Why does this strategy work? Human beings are natural amplifiers of what they perceive. They respond to demeanor over details. The composed appear steadfast, the agitated appear culpable. Your silence overturns this script. Your immobility causes others to reinterpret their certainty as doubt. They fill the silence with their explanations, revealing the fragile structure of their own ego. Meanwhile, you remain inscrutable, a blank canvas onto which others project their deepest insecurities. This is the essence of the silent blade, unseen, unsheathed, yet every present mind perceives its sharpness. And just before the tension becomes unbearable, you choose whether to let them continue in discomfort or to decisively address the issue. But merely holding the blade is only part of the strategy. Next, we will manipulate the frame itself, where true authority begins to manifest. There lies a harsh truth in human psychology. We pursue context before truth. Whosoever defines the context establishes the parameters, compelling others to comply. This concept is called frame control, explaining why calm individuals can resolve conflicts without physical confrontation. Why unperturbed CEOs can guide a board with a mere gesture. Why authoritarian figures stage photos rather than elaborate policies. People gauge the emotional climate of a situation long before facts can be processed. Silence exploits this tendency. When faced with a direct charge and you remain inactive, the observer's internal narrative flickers. If he isn't responding, perhaps the claim lacks merit. Perhaps the accuser is uncertain. Perhaps there's more to the story. Your stillness captivates their interpretation, forcing them to draw conclusions like critics analyzing abstract art, essentially imputing significance you never articulated. Meanwhile, the accuser's authority diminishes with every further attempt, because their increasing volume shows your composure isn't affected by their clamor. Consider frame as essential as oxygen. The owner breathes freely, others struggle to grasp it. In refusing to defend yourself, you effectively deprive opponents of the narrative supply. In their attempts to regain control, they repeat, intensify their tone, and each reaction implies they're operating within your influence. Master this, and you do not merely endure conflict, you govern its dynamics. But claiming the frame is the prelude. Next is converting that grip into a display that captivates the public, the point where legend grows. Envision this. One moment, a prominent voice in music fills all media, interviews, headlines, disputes. Then suddenly, he withdraws from the spotlight without a word. No apologies, no explanations, leaving only a void buzzing with conjecture. That's Tupac in 1996. He's no longer just Tupac, he's living as Machiavelli. A shadow understanding that silence resonates more profoundly than any aggressive verse. He records the Don Illuminati in a frantic creative burst, releasing it strategically, then vanishes. Authorities declare a routine incident, headlines bury him among trivial news, yet Machiavelli's greatest impact was leaving the question hanging, was it truly the end? By merely leaving it unanswered, he demonstrated a principle. After making your mark, withdrawing prompts others to construct your myth. Suddenly, fans envision him in distant lands. Theories emerge faster than bootleg tapes, and his appeal mounts as silence becomes the irresistible story hook. Years later, his essence still fills concert venues, hologram or otherwise, while aspiring artists struggle for a fraction of that attention. Why does this happen? Because Machiavelli mastered the potency of an absent voice. By compelling others to fill the silence, they almost always inflate your legend. Here's the lesson to internalize. Dominating the narrative doesn't demand endless speeches, just a timely fade into obscurity. Say your piece. Exit. Let curiosity expand your legacy as others clamor for acknowledgement you no longer need to seek. That elusive technique? Today's magnates adapt it to the digital era with something as simple as an erased tweet. Prepare for this evolved strategy. Imagine it's June 2025. Elon Musk drops a cryptic late-night message unveiling the bombshell Trump's mentioned in the e-files. No screenshots, no elaboration, just a ticking media bomb. A few hours later, the tweet disappears, gone without trace. What remains is a crater of mystery devouring media attention. Journalists are thrown into disarray, political spokespersons trip over their responses, finance enthusiasts reevaluate safe investments. Yet Musk, silent, shifts focus to entertainment about Mars. The takeaway is pristine and severe. Release one provocative assertion, vanish, and witness adversaries deplete their resources, debating your sincerity or strategic maneuvering. The deletion isn't a retreat, it's an orchestrated action. Each subsequent repost or interrogation ensures his narrative remains active while he refrains from further effort. Even the government cannot retort without revitalizing the discourse. Do you see the elegance? Initiate an event, disappear, and watch others futilely engage with your lingering shade. This modern Machiavelli method, a digital assault then fade. One enigmatic message, one deliberate silence, and others conduct your publicity autonomously. Start small, perhaps a subtle remark in a work chat, then casually leave. Return to find colleagues dissecting your hidden meaning, akin to scholars debating esoteric texts. The issue isn't the validity of the rumor, it's the absence you cultivate. Power invariably fills voids, it always has, always will. Here's a peril that ensnares anyone overly concerned with reputation. The more you react to gossip, the louder its presence becomes. Referred to as the Streisand effect. Understanding this needn't involve a high-profile legal case. The moment one rushes forth, issuing statements, tweeting angered threads, signals one dangerous truth: the hearsay affected you. When sense vulnerability is detected, people engage faster than any algorithm. Captures, reposts, reaction discussions. Every defense almost ensures the subject matter will escalate. Recall an author facing an unexpected slander on social media. One legal threat later, a trivial tweet becomes a widespread hashtag. Or an executive who sends a lengthy message to set records straight, inadvertently waking up to viral attention for reasons unintended. They weren't extinguishing falsehoods, they were dousing them with accelerant, because outrage thrives on attention, and defense is like oxygen under pressure. Here's the stark equation. A rumor plus silence equals a fleeting murmur. A rumor combined with a fervent defense equals 2 million views and an indelible online mark. Each word of explanation you utter becomes evidence of significance. So let the clamor reverberate. Allow it to expend its own energy. While they become ensnared in their own echo chamber, you remain a steadfast island, unmoved by the tempest. And that tranquility, it scorches more fiercely than any retort. Critics persist in their attacks, onlookers grow intrigued, supporters rally unbidden, because nothing incites intervention like a target that remains unfazed. You offered no new sound bites for scrutiny, no apology for derision, no frantic narratives to examine. You provided a void, and a void is the bane of outrage. But if stillness can incapacitate the rumor mill, what unfolds when you turn the tables, transforming every blow into a distinction that elevates your worth? That shift is where true strategic power emerges. Imagine this theory being revived from historical archives and thrust into your Monday meeting. Picture the setting: stark lighting, chilled coffee, a colleague throws a sly remark. Intriguing notion, but have you thoroughly tested it? All eyes pivot to you, searching for any sign of faltering. Instead, you recline slightly, let a faint smile play at your lips, and offer 5 words: walk me through your model. Instantly, the dynamics shift. Now the critic is front and center, maneuvering through an impromptu presentation as you leisurely enjoy your drink, observing his confidence inexplicably diminish with each misspoken word. Even in personal confrontations, this approach is masterful. A partner accuses, "You stopped caring." The older version of you might unravel emotions, timelines, numerous examples of affection. If the assertion holds merit, they will articulate specifics for you to address. If it's mere drama, it dissipates in the silence you provide. Either scenario adheres to your emotional rhythm. The pattern remains consistent: a brief pause, a pointed redirection, silence honed to precision. You own the narrative because you resist the urge to perform for others. And once you perfect that stillness, you're prepared for the next progression. Strategic articulations so incisive, they not only deflect criticism, but transform attacks into emblems of victory. Silence stands as your foundational threat, a concealed weapon that all sense but none can pinpoint. Yet occasionally, situations demand more than passive observation. They require a deliberate, singular act that instantaneously quells the noise. These are your decisive retorts, one-liners so calculated, they seal the situation like a locked case, leaving no loose threads, no space for counter-arguments. Consider the critic who mocks, "You're so arrogant." You barely register it before replying. Confidence unsettles the comfortable. Nothing further. The charge crumbles under its self-generated weight. Or the colleague who insinuates, "You manipulate people." You exhale, serene as drifting vapor. Only the easily influenced claim that. Suddenly, the allegation rebounds, inscribing insecurity upon their brow. When someone mutters, "You think you're superior," you incline your head slightly, acknowledging the comment, and respond, "No, I think differently." In that moment, you dismiss the entire accusation. Hierarchies bore you, innovation enshrines you, and the room subtly realigns around your calm presence. They're left clutching their misfires, uncertain if they'll implode in their grip, while you exit unscathed. Master these precise articulations and evolve from silent guardian to master craftsman, sculpting your legend with each succinct utterance, allowing the aftermath to bolster your renown. True power requires no clamorous proclamation once it becomes an aura. Crossing the line from defense to definition alters your stillness into deliberate intent. Every exhalation becomes a calculated maneuver. The atmosphere changes as you enter, not out of threat but due to uncertainty about your next step. Uncertainty being the most potent leverage. Thus the strategy is as follows. Choose a confrontation this week, be it online, at work, or at the dinner table, and abstain from pleading your stance. Let the accusation linger in the air like smoke you're unaffected by. Observe who rushes to dispel it, who squirms uncomfortably, who steps forward to champion you without solicitation. You'll sense the shift in dynamics in real time, and once you experience that gravitational change, the need for validation will dissipate. Next, we elevate this quiet dominance further, transforming detractors into inadvertent brand ambassadors who can't cease uttering your name even while attempting to debase it. Until then, maintain the silence, command the ambience, and let the narrative assert its own tale. Every power struggle centers around a singular inquiry. Who curates the frame when tensions escalate? The average participant hastens to explain, dissipating credibility with every expressed word. The strategist exhales without utterance, observing the room construct a myth around them. Consequently, the essence is brutally straightforward. Never defend when silence suffices, never clarify when ambiguity enhances. The next moment a jibe is aimed at you, suppress the urge to justify. Let the pause widen, let the accuser falter, let the spectators envisage their interpretations of your composure. When you opt to speak, if at all, deliver a decisive retort that concludes the conversation. Offer one strategic move, make your exit, and allow the reverberations to continue praising your name long after your departure. Ultimately, power is not held by the loudest voice. It belongs to those who can remain still while others clamor for attention. Cultivate this instinct, and you'll transcend mere victories in arguments. You'll render them superfluous. Should this exploration of quiet power strategies ignite your interest, stay engaged. This forum doesn't offer timid counsel, it arms you with sharper tools for every challenging encounter. Engage now, activate notifications, and prepare for the next phase, because those who quietly conquer claim the loudest